Local union president says he has major concerns about changes the U.S. Postal Service has proposed for the facility in Hampden. Earlier this month, the USPS reported its results of a review at the Eastern Maine Processing and Distribution Center. They say their findings support modernizing the facility, but moving some outgoing mail operations, also called cancellations, to southern Maine. Local members of the American Postal Workers Union say they oppose the potential consolidation. While they say there will be no career employee layoffs, some workers could be reassigned or lost as certain equipment is moved out. But their biggest concerns involve transparency and potential impacts to local customers.
I think the bigger issue is the impact it's going to have on Maine people, the people that rely on the Postal Service with their prescription drugs. And, you know, there are other time-sensitive mailings like college applications you have to get in by a deadline. Whatever it is, you know, that cancellation is an important part, and to move that out of here, I think, is a mistake.
The Postal Service is holding a public hearing next month to get community feedback. Bob encourages as many Mainers as possible to attend. It will be held on February 2nd at 4 p.m. at Jeff's Catering in Brewer.